Hello everyone and welcome to the Waffle Flower channel. It's Shannon here, and today I'm going to show you 3 different Christmas tree card designs basically using one stamp. So I had some fun, got real creative. Okay, so there's my 2 stamp set, but right there, this rain check stamp set, that ray right there, that's what I'm going to use. That's the one stamp I'm going to use to create all my Christmas tree designs today. Alright, so on this panel, I am going to mark a center line just using my ruler and a pencil. This panel is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I am going to, and I made that little dotted rectangle using the pinking layers dies. I used the largest die there and that's how I got those cute that dotted rectangle that you see on there. Okay, so now to the left of that center line, I'm stamping that ray in Chirp Chirp. I'm going to clean it off, and then I'm going to move on to my next color. The next color I'm going to use is Peace of Mind. I'm going to stamp to the right side of that ray, and I'm going to actually overlap that first ray just a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to speed it up here because it's pretty much the same thing. I'm going to stamp this third triangle now in New Fish and Pond, and then I'm going to stamp one more triangle here on the right side of that center point in Chirp Chirp. Now I'm going to finish up the left side of this tree with 2 more triangles or 2 more rays. This is New Fish and Pond again, and then we'll do 1 more ray in Peace of Mind. So I really like playing around with my shape stamps. I find it really fun. You can be really creative and create like your own designs. I'm always looking for really awesome shape stamp sets, and I just love this rain check. It has some great has a great sun, really graphic sun and cloud, and I don't know, I just love the ray. The ray I just think has so many uses in your card designs. Okay, so what I did there is I just made a quick mask with a post-it note, marked the center line, and then erased my center lines on my panel, and then stamped that little trunk with that ray again in Coffee Loves Milk. Okay, so I've dried my panel really well with my heat gun. You didn't see that, but I did it off camera. And now I've got my panel here in my Misty, and I pulled a sentiment off of the Peace on Earth stamp set. That sentiment says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I've inked it up in my embossing ink, and I will ink it up one more time, stamp it down, and then I will gold emboss it. It's really important if you're going to do embossing on top of already inked up images to heat set them first before you move on to your embossing. Otherwise that embossing powder will stick to all those areas that you just stamped. Okay, so there I'm showing off that beautiful gold embossing. Now I'm going to punch out a star out of some gold glitter paper. And then I'm going to adhere that star to the top of my tree. I'm just going to use some glossy accents here I'm just going to use it as glue and use that to adhere my star. And once I'm done with that, sticking that star down, all I have left to do is glue this panel onto my card base. So I'm going to grab my card base here. My card base that I'm using is 5 by 7, so it's an A7 card. I like to make big cards. Alright, and to stick this panel down, I'm just going to use my glue stick. I'm not quite ready to transfer over to tape or tape guns. They kind of aren't, I find them intimidating. If you have any good ones, just let me know in the comment section. I'd like to get one, but I'm just worried they're going to always get caught, and I won't use it if I have issues with it. So if you know of a good one, let me know. Okay, so I'm sticking that panel down, and that first card design is done. So I made one big central tree on that last card design. This time I'm going to do a trio of trees. I've got a 4 1/4 and 5 1/2 panel there, and I used the pinking layers die to make that dotted rectangle around the edge. I've marked a center line, and now I'm stamping to the right of that, to the left of that center line with my Chirp Chirp Dye Ink and that ray again. I'm going to use that ray, ink it up in New Fish and Pond, and stamp on the other side. And again, once slightly overlapping to avoid any white gaps. And I'm just eyeballing it. It's really easy to line it up. And there's that's one tree. So this time I only used 2 rays to create a tree. Alright, and now I'm going to start working on the trees that are on either side of that center tree. I've got the ray inked up in Peace of Mind, and I'm going to stamp that ray, one on the left and one on the right, to make 1/2 of 2 trees. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to move on to my next color, which is New Fish and Pond, and overlap it here. This ink is just, it's stamping so beautifully, nice and solid, really, really pretty. And I love these colors together. I've kind of used them a couple of times already this holiday season, but I just really love these green and blues together. It's just a really nice color palette, I think. Alright, and this is Chirp Chirp for my last ray, and that finishes up those trees. Now I'm going to add some details to the trees. I've got my ruler here. First I'm erasing that center line. I've got my ruler here and my and just a permanent Sharpie black marker. I'm going to draw down the center of both my left and right tree. And then from that center line, I'm going to make branches. I like to do one side at a time. I just find that it keeps my angles more consistent. And now I'll do the last side of this tree. I like this little bit of detail. For one, I think that it just makes the image more interesting. Plus, it kind of makes a mid-century modern look, or adds to the already mid-century modern look, and I just really love it. I love this vintage, nostalgic kind of feel. Alright, so this is a sentiment from, what is it from? Peace on Earth. The Peace on Earth stamp set. That says Joy to the World. I just inked it up in my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'm just going to center it here over the middle tree and stamp it down, and that will almost complete this design. All I have left to do is mount it on foam board, or craft foam. So I'm going to grab some craft foam here just to add some dimension. There's my card base, but first I've got to do my craft foam. I'm going to use green craft foam just because I thought it would be kind of fun to have it pop. You'd see it through those dots, that dotted rectangle from the peeking layers. So I'm going to measure it real quick here, just kind of eyeball it, use my panel as a guide. And now I'm going to trim it down, trim this craft foam down to get my rectangle. Alright. And now I'm just going to adhere the two together. I'm going to use my glue stick again, and I'm going to keep the glue in the center because I don't want it to be where the dots are, because I don't want that glue kind of oozing out. I guess I won't ooze, but kind of squirt out those dots and be visible. So I'm just doing the center. And now I'm going to do some glue on the back of that craft foam, or the back of that panel and craft foam together. And then I will glue it down onto my card base. Center it up here, and that will complete this second card. So one more card to go. Okay, so for this next card, I'm just going to stamp right onto my card base. It's a 5x7 card base. I've got my ray again, and I'm inking it up in New Fish and Pond, and I'm going to stamp several trees across the middle, but at varying heights. What I'm doing with this card, the idea behind this card, is I want to kind of create like a little forest scene, and each ray will represent a single tree. So now I'm stamping another group of trees, this time in Chirp Chirp. And again, varying the heights a little bit to look somewhat organic. There we go. And now I'll do my last grouping of trees, and this is in Peace of Mind ink, and just stamp a couple more of those rays to finish off my little forests forest of trees. And there we go. So again, it has I feel like it has another has a mid-century modern feel again. I'm gonna do some details, some branch and trunk details, just like I did on the last card, but this time with my ruler and a fine Sharpie marker. So I'm just drawing that center line through basically every other tree. I'm going to do all the center lines first, and then I will do my branches. And again, I find that it's easier for me to keep a nice consistent angle on my branches if I just do one half of the tree at a time. So I'm just going to go down all these trees and do the left side of the tree, do the branches on the left side. So this is something, playing with your shape stamps is something I really like to do. I encourage you guys to try it out. It's a really fun way to get creative with you know, some of the stamps you already have, and you can kind of create your own designs that way, you know, and that's always fun to kind of have something, you know, different and that is unique to you. Okay, so now I'm just doing the other half of the trees. And then then all the doodling will be done. And all I'll have left to do is my sentiment. Oh, but I just remembered, after I do this last tree here, I'm going to do one more tree just to break up the pattern that I have of doodled tree, non-doodled tree, doodled tree, non-doodled tree. I'm going to do this one tree right here, just kind of break it up a little bit. And do the other side. Really simple, really easy to do. Okay, so I'm going to pull out that Peace on Earth stamp set, and I'm going to use that Peace on Earth and Goodwill to All sentiment. Now it comes with a bird and 2 flourishes. I've actually already cut those off. I did that for another card design. And I actually separated Peace on Earth and Goodwill to All for a previous card design. So I'm just going to put them back together on my acrylic block. And that was really, you saw how easy I did that. I encourage you to cut your stamps, to make, especially if they're going to make them more useful to you. It can be scary, I admit, but I get so much more use out of my stamps when I cut them. I really love doing it. Okay, I just stamped that sentiment in Like a Pro, which is a gray ink. And now I'm going to stamp the sentiment again in VersaFine Onyx Black. But I'm going to do it slightly offset, so the Like a Pro, or that gray, will kind of create a shadow. So, and I'm just going to eyeball it. This is fun because I haven't used my Misty only once so far in this video, so sorry about my head. Had to line it up. So it's here's like 3 card designs that don't require Misty at all. Okay, so there you can kind of see the shadow. And that's all done. Really clean and simple, but I really like that graphic look. Okay, so there's 1, 2, and here's the third, the first one. So if you have, for more product info, please visit waffleflower.com. And you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. Have a wonderful day, everybody.